The next screen is the UDS screen. This used to be a part of AutoFlow to indicate when the patient signed the consent to treat form. As of May 1st, 2021, this is no longer required to be documented. The consent to treat has been added to the financial and billing policy that the patient acknowledges one time ever. The client defined screen is used to indicate if the patient has interest in a quarterly newsletter that will be sent out in the mail about the CVP Foundation. If the patient does not wish to receive these, you can simply opt the patient out here by selecting the drop-down under Foundation Declined. If the patient would like to receive these, you are able to leave this field blank. This requires a manual update from Phreesia into NextGen and will appear on the blue manual entry triangle. Finally, the last screen we come to is the insurance selection screen. If the insurance was attached to a previous encounter, then it will automatically populate to be billed on future encounters. If the insurance is changed, you must remove it from the encounter by double-clicking on the insurance or by using the arrows. As of April 2021, it is now required the insurance encounter copay is entered along with the practice level copay. If the insurance has never been pushed on the encounter, the screen will show automatically. If the insurance is already attached to the encounter, you will then need to open the insurance by clicking on the member ID number. This will then populate the encounter copay to be entered. If this has never been entered, it will populate in red. The practice level copay will usually never change unless the insurance has changed the patient's copay. This should match the specialist copay provided from Phreesia. The encounter copay will change depending on the patient visit. If the patient is having a regular appointment that requires a specialist copay, the practice level copay and the encounter copay will match. If the patient is having a post-op appointment or has a credit on their account and a copay is not being collected for today's visit, then the encounter copay will be 0. You will then select OK and then double-click or use the arrow up top to select the insurance to be placed on the encounter. It is very important to make sure insurance is pushed on the encounter and is in the correct order if the patient has secondary or tertiary insurance. Failure to do this will result in delay of insurance claims or possibly inaccurate bills to be sent to the patient. You are then able to select AutoFlow again. Any balance that may be due by the patient will show here, but balances are to be collected in Phreesia. You then select Close. As of May 2021, the last step to complete your AutoFlow is to return to Phreesia and place the patient into the Process section of the dashboard by selecting the gray check mark here. Once the patient is then placed into the Process section, it will then change the workflow status in NextGen to Reception Area for us. This will then indicate to clinic staff that the patient check-in process is complete.